G'day guys, how you going? Hope you're doing well. My name is Sean and today we're going to be talking about the Logitech G815 mechanical keyboard. The one that I have with me is the linear model, and I'm going to be letting you know whether or not you should be forking out $299 for this thing or whether or not you should keep the money and spend it on something else. So if you like this video, hit the like button, get subscribed, and let's begin. Alrighty, so as mentioned before, this keyboard is $299. I've been using it now for probably about a week and a half, and this is the G815 mechanical keyboard with the linear Cherry GL switches, which are not a Cherry MX switch necessarily, but they're Logitech's own, I guess, interpretation of that, which is the GL. And some of the things that I really like about this keyboard, which is, I guess, the main focus from Logitech anyway, is the fact that it is super low profile. So I'm not sure if you can see it very well on camera, but these switches only elevate ever so slightly off this, I guess, aluminium chassis, which is really nice. I personally like a low profile keyboard. Some mechanical keyboards, the keys come up super high, and it does make it, for some people, a little bit difficult in terms of like locating the key and typing. And also the key press, because it's low profile and the keys don't come up super high, it doesn't take very much effort at all to press the keys down. So if you're someone that's typing a lot, you might find that you get a little bit less key fatigue, or sorry, finger or hand fatigue on this particular keyboard. Along the top here, you've got 3 different memory profiles, which I actually really like. You've also got memory recall, you've got a game mode, so if you turn that on, that will basically disable your Windows key, and then you've got the brightness or LED key here as well. So this is a backlit keyboard, if you haven't, I guess, picked up on that part already. It's RGB everywhere, so you can customize all of the colors with the Logitech G Hub software, which is great. You can, if you've already got some Logitech peripherals, you can just plug this in and you can control everything from the one application. On the right hand side, you've got some media keys, and then you've got a, I guess, volume scroll up there on the top right hand corner as well. On the actual back of the keyboard, you've got a USB pass-through, so you could plug in something like a USB headset, or maybe your USB mouse, or if you just want to maybe plug in like a USB drive to transfer files off, you can do that. The bottom of the keyboard, I'll just spin this around. What you've got here is basically some feet that you can go ahead and adjust. And one thing that is nice, I'm going to stop saying one thing, but basically you've got some feet here which gives you 2 sort of slight versions of how high or how much incline you want on the keyboard. So if you want to, you can basically just do the little one, which will give you a couple degrees, or if you want to, you can go to the next one, which they've got labeled as 8 degrees of incline. So that's quite nice. And then you've got some like little rubber feet on them, and also along the bottom here as well. So once you plant it down on your desk, it doesn't really matter what surface it is, it's not going to move around at all. The body is really high quality. Like, this thing has next to no flex. It doesn't bend or twist. Doesn't really matter how much weight you put on this thing. It is really good. The left side of the keyboard, you've got some G1 to G5 switches. So again, these are macros that you can just go into the G Hub software from Logitech, and you can, I guess, reprogram those keys however you want. I think it also comes in the blue switch style, which is a little bit more clicky, and then I think there's brown as well. But you can go onto the website and you can buy the keyboard that you're after in terms of the type of switch. Now that we've sort of talked about the keyboard and everything else, and I have used it for a while and I do really like it. I like the lighting effects, I like the low profile, feels really good, feels really premium. It's $299. You're probably thinking, wow, this is a great investment, I'm not going to have to need another keyboard for a long time. One thing that I just discovered a few nights ago when I was gaming and I was trying to type up this particular script, and I was typing up some information about the keyboard, that just threw me off, and it was just like, I could not believe that they haven't considered this or thought of this. But on the number row where you've got all your other symbols there, so you've got like your dollar symbol or your @ symbol, your asterisks, your brackets, and then also like down where it's got your question mark, you know, your colon, your commas, and then the number pad as well, where you've got like end, home, page up, page down. Those secondary characters, for whatever reason, I don't know who at Logitech sort of signed off and said, this is fine, no one will notice. But when you've got your backlight on and the lights are off in your room and you're trying to find those keys, they are intentionally not shining through. So you can see, I guess in the close-up, that one part of the keycap is cut out and you can see the light shining through. But then the secondary symbol that you would use like with your shift key, for example, doesn't, and that made it really hard. Like I was trying to type an ampersand with the number 7 and I just couldn't locate that key, and I was just like, it just occurred to me that they haven't made any allowances for light to come through, which if you're going to be getting a backlit keyboard, even if it's RGB, you still want to be able to like locate those keys in nighttime. You know, some of you might want to just buy this, set it to one color, like maybe just the color white or the color blue or something easy on the eyes so you can type at nighttime with the lights off, but then you can't find those keys. And I know they're going after the gamers for this keyboard because it's mechanical and it's got the RGB and it's got the G in the corner there and everything else, but the fact that they're sort of missing this particular row in these keys and they're not like shining the light through those, which probably only costs a few extra cents for each key, probably not even anything. I feel like it's just an oversight, and whoever signed off on this, I think needs to go back to the drawing board, because when you're spending $299 for the wide version, the wireless version I think in Australia is $50 more, so that's $350 for effectively the same keyboard but wireless, and you can't see the light coming through, so you can't find certain characters. I think it's unforgivable. I mean, at the end of the day, I know I'm going on a lot about probably something that seems really, really small, but it's a keyboard, you know, so when things like this aren't done perfectly at the price point that you're paying for, I think, you know, people are going to discover that and then probably take their keyboards back and unfortunately return them, because overall the product is extremely solid and I would highly recommend it, even with the price point, because I think it would be something that people would use and hold on to for a long time, because it is such a such a high quality made product. But that one little thing there, I mean, I'm probably going to go back to my wireless G613, which doesn't have any backlight, because I can see those characters better at nighttime than what I can on this one here. So that's my thoughts and opinion. I know there's a bit of a rant in there as well, but I hope you take that information on board when you're thinking about purchasing this particular keyboard. If you're just going to be using it for WASD and just for playing games and you want something cool that looks awesome and it feels really good, then definitely still check this keyboard out. But if you're going to do anything else, then maybe shop around and see what you can find. So let me know what you think in the comment section. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.